This is fiction. When we face reality, we must be prepared to base our decisions on facts. In disaster situations, the need for accurate information is most immediate and crucial. Information comes from a variety of sources. It must be translated into facts that are meaningful to the user and his mission. This is not a complex process. It is part of everyday living. We use it when we cross the street, check the weather, determine the best way to fight a fire, make an estimate of the situation, or save a life. In each of these situations, a decision was made based on facts, and facts make the difference. Without the facts, you may well find yourself in the position of a fire dispatcher who received a frantic call.
Help me, somebody, please. My house is in flames. My 2 children are trapped inside. Hurry, please, do something.
Do something. That was the firefighter's job. They had the time, equipment, and personnel to save the children. But where would they go? The woman failed to give her address to the dispatcher, a fact she ignored. To understand the mechanics of getting the facts, let us examine the steps. This includes collecting information, processing it, and disseminating the facts to those who need them. Let's begin with the first step, collection of information. Any official of government has certain inherent responsibilities for the collection of information. To meet this responsibility, a reporting system must be established within the framework of government, based on its existing resources. Information may be of a general and non-technical nature, which can be reported by anyone on a geographical basis. Or technical information related to specialized function, which is reported by operating services such as police, fire, public works, health, agriculture, or a shelter manager who may report information to the Emergency Operating Center. Just as newspapers use reporters who are specialists in their fields, like science, sports, politics, government uses personnel assigned to each functional or technical area to report the facts. To get the information needed to make a decision on a specific problem. These people working together to gather information should be aggressive, accurate, reliable, and observant. They should know and understand people, facilities, areas, and communications. And they should cover both geographical and functional information. To be effective, people in this information system should be organized, trained, equipped, and assigned well in advance of the emergency. They should be welded into a skillful team, for facts do make the difference. Everyone involved in emergency operations should be conscious of the need for accurate information. He should be alert, he should be aware. He should recognize that information flows to and from the various governmental departments already functioning. Police, firemen, personnel of federal agencies, industry, public utilities, public works, Community shelters. Anyone or any situation can be a source of information. All persons involved must be trained to anticipate the need for and recognize the significance of information. Sometimes confusion arises in determining the difference between raw information and fact. This needn't be if raw information is questioned, investigated, and validated. Raw information may not necessarily be factual. The difference is a matter of proof and verification. Information from a reliable, authoritative source can usually be trusted. In this case, it is a matter of reliability. Trained people are needed not only to report occurrences, but to anticipate what might happen based on information they already have. For example, an astute police officer observing a group of youths on the street late at night with nothing to do and no place to go senses what might develop into a situation. He handles the situation in the right way and at the opportune time. In doing so, he uses his training and experience to anticipate and prevent possible trouble. This illustrates the value of recognizing the significance of a situation. In collecting information, everyone should understand and use the familiar 5 W's, essential in establishing facts. For example, the people have received a 10 Roentgen dose of radiation by 7 p.m. in the Jefferson Park shelter because of fallout from an upwind nuclear explosion. The second step, processing, simply means transforming information into usable facts. Incoming information is examined, sorted, and placed into the proper category. For example, data related to a particular area in a radiological situation is so labeled. Every piece of information is examined to determine its pertinence. For example, is it needed immediately? If so, by whom? Is it of future value? If so, to whom? Is it of value to this government or to other governments? Processing of information requires its examination to determine the reliability of its source. Is the source completely reliable, fairly reliable, or unreliable, or cannot be judged? Information must also be examined for its probability. Is it confirmed? Is it probably true? Is it improbable? Or can it be judged? These and other questions must be answered. For example, if the information comes from a specialist in the field of law enforcement, medicine, fire, agriculture, is it likely there is a basis of fact? Personal knowledge of the source of information helps determine its reliability. Is what is vital to one department of government equally vital to another? Personal knowledge of the significance of the information helps to determine its use. Is the information reported realistic, feasible, and consistent with what is already known? Personal knowledge of existing facts help determine its probability. Arriving at a decision is a deliberate and systematic process. Yet there's only one best way to function: be thorough. Do the pieces of information fit together logically so that the total picture comes into sharp focus? The gathering of all information that is pertinent to a particular situation, all the bits and pieces under one roof, constitutes the basis for a factual estimate of the situation. If some needed facts are missing, what then? Questions relating to the evaluation of the situation are called essential elements of information, or EEI. These questions must result in necessary answers. For example, asking what are the limits of radiological contamination, though important, will not provide the answers the leader needs to make a decision. It is not the essential element of information. A better question would be, where, how, and with what effect will radiological contamination impede or deny operations? Another question, what roads are blocked, is of some value, but again does not give the answers required to make a decision. The decision maker is interested in those roads which are important to his operation. A better question is where, how, and with what effect will blocking of streets and highways impede operations? When the decision maker has the answers to the essential elements of information, he has a basis upon which to make judgment. When the information has been converted into facts, it must be made available to appropriate users. Otherwise, it is useless. To provide these facts to those who need them, you need communications: messenger, telephone, radio, Twix. For example, in addition to the warning given by sirens or other means, information under emergency conditions can be communicated to the public over the emergency broadcast system. People can be warned of the potential radioactive fallout hazard and receive information about shelter locations and the actions they should take to increase their chances for survival.
Security and civil defense measures as requested by the United States government. This is the emergency broadcast system. Normal broadcasting has been discontinued for an indefinite period. This station will remain on the air to broadcast news, official...
Not only the public, but agency officials responsible for dealing with emergency conditions need factual information, both for field operations and headquarters decisions and direction. Thus, communications are vital to the dissemination of facts to those who need them and must use them. The steps represented by this complete cycle provide the means to get the raw information, establish the facts, and get them to the point where they can be used. The ability to develop useful facts from raw data is essential in this process. The success of your decisions, survival actions taken by your community, will depend on your knowledge, your alertness, your judgment, and successful decisions are based on facts. The payoff is in terms of life, your life and mine. Facts do make the difference.